different types of the places that like the community people have to go. Because we have a lot of centres, or some centres, but a lot of them shut at 6. So we didn't want it to just be like 9 till 5 times. We want them open from morning till night, and also at weekends, because otherwise they're just throwing producers, and you can't go with like these £1 million projects.
Yeah, so the main problem that we thought that there was that there wasn't enough facilities or things to do in Harrow. But as well as like what you mentioned about the places that aren't open late enough, Harrow is a really culturally diverse borough. I think there's 168 different languages spoken. So we want to see more facilities that are inclusive and sort of tailored to everybody's needs in terms of culture, but also more places which are specific for young people to go and hang out, because we get a bit of a bad press where there's not really any zone where young people can just go and not be seen as like to be loitering and making a nuisance of themselves. So that's one of the things we want to look at.
Yeah, we wanted areas to include activities for everyone to be included in. Activities such as gyms, for like to include activities and socialising together, and including like fitness and things like that, so that people can take part in activities together, such as like air hockey and like snooker and pool and stuff, and be social. And also like interact with each other, but include fitness, and yeah, just having everyone together, inclusive, so that everyone can interact, and there isn't barriers between different groups and society, like age or different cultures together, so everyone merges together and gets to know each other.
And the last point was that unlike Tower Hamlets, who are desperate for some green stuff, we've got plenty of it in Harrow, but a lot of it is just grass, just woodland. So one of the things was structured open space, outdoor space, where if it rains, you can still use it, so like all-weather AstroTurf, stuff like that. But also like something that gives it a bit more of excitement, things like zip wires and things like that. How you'd put that into Harrow Town Centre, we don't know, but that's just something we thought that it just gives another dynamic than just a usual generic youth centre with a pool table and some IT stuff in the corner.
Thank you very much. That's great. Sorry. Good. I think we've got a question here.
I just wanted to ask you, are you saying the youth clubs and the social centres that you have available for use are only open from 9 to 5? What is it that's open from 9 to 5 that you would use?
Apparently, well, the main thing, we've been told there's lots of youth places that we just don't know about, but also it's because these places apparently they shut at 6, and for people who go to school and college, you can't. That's not enough time to actually use it, and to get all the investment that's going in, you're not getting any use from what it's aimed at. So if you had it open longer,
it seems ludicrous that somebody would open a youth club or a youth centre and only open between 9 and 5.
No, that's probably
Is that
making.
really the truth?
Yeah.
It's as someone from Harrow Council Youth Service, it's something that we do bang our heads against. The 9 till 6 thing is not that all the youth clubs or the community centres in Harrow is close at 6. We have a lot of 9 till 6 youth workers, which is changing them up for a restructure.
Right.
But there are still community centres that are open. But the main thing is, like Glenn said, about advertising the fact that they're there and what they have to offer. But no, we do have some that are sort of 6
okay.
and then the doors are shut, which is ludicrous.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Harrow. Next up is Tower Hamlets, whose concern was the lack of greenery and wildlife that Harrow had in abundance. Let's redraw the boundaries tonight.
Which one's ours? Hi, my name is Ace. Harrow and I were talking about gyms, fitness and that, but Timelet's got all that. But so like we're worrying about like how like people don't move away from their boroughs to other boroughs much, and how Timelets is too much industrialized basically. So we want more greenery in our areas, so people appreciate the environment and the culture and the history that Timelets really has. And we think like the main issues like Timelets has a lot of noise pollution and air pollution. As you can see, there's a cross on the cars and stuff, so we want less cars. And there's lots of like roads and all that stopping us from like enjoying the environment as well, and creating the noise pollution and air pollution.
We'd like to make Tower Hamlets buildings less daunting because there's a lot of tower blocks and it's quite isolating for many people and even very scary for members of the community. We'd like to encourage green space and the good treatment of green space, so basically not littering and stuff like that, because it will encourage people to sort of hang out in the green area and to just like use what there is in Tower Hamlets. I don't think they use the resources well enough. Also, we'd basically like to make it so that the youth move about Tower Hamlets a bit more, because we think it's quite segregated in some ways. There's a lot of fighting, a bit of gang violence you'll hear recently in the news. So we'd like to sort of stop all that by making sure there's more things for them to do. And sometimes they don't just want youth clubs, they want a space for them without people being scared of seeing like a group of young people, so they can chill out, but at the same time not scare other people like the adults or the children, like the mothers with their kids going to the parks and seeing a group of young people. They're a bit scared by that, so we want to make sure that there's a place for young people to actually hang out, but without preventing mothers and children going to the park, etc.
Yeah, I think the main point was, following on for that, was teenagers don't always want to be doing stuff and being entertained. They also want time to just gather and relax and sort of, chill out outside the home. So that's always kind of missed because, they're like everyone else, they just want a bit of downtime and, that kind of thing. So sitting by the river and creating those spaces is important and not necessarily just filling it up with things to do, which is always seen as sort of what should be provided for teenagers. So,
any questions?
Do you guys know about the linear park in Tower Hamlets that goes from Victoria Park all the way down to the river?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you use that?
Yes, we would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Victoria Park is like a huge, biggest park in these days in Tower Hamlets.
I suppose one of the main issues that we have in Tower Hamlets is people from Bethnal Green won't necessarily travel to Isle of Dogs and vice versa. There's a real kind of, so we've got Victoria Park, we've got the Tower of London, all on the outskirts of the, on the boundary, but people living inside the borough won't necessarily travel there. So that's a bit of an issue.
I think that the major road, like the A13, the A11, A12, all segregate the borough. So while there's big parks, they also restrict movement and connectivity. And also the densities are very high in Tower Hamlets, so it's a small amount of space for a huge amount of people. So I think one of the solutions we came up with was actually creating a lot of pocket parks. So there's always access for people in the community to see green space and use it, rather than having to travel what are psychological long distances to bigger parks.
You talked about not mixing up, sort of people getting stuck into small groups, and so, do you have ideas about how that could be addressed?
it's like if you look at the Tower Bridge, there's a lot of like tourism and people from all cultures trying to appreciate the artwork. So if we had like smaller scale artworks around Timeless, maybe people from different cultures would share the art as well.
Would you be interested in getting involved in that?
Yes, definitely.
Sounds good. You better talk to Martin.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll have a conversation later. Great. Thank you very much, Tower Hamlets.
Beat that, Lucia.